Today I'm changing the alternator on a 2005 Pontiac Vibe, but it is also relevant to the Toyota Matrix as they were made in the same factory the same year. So we need 10, 12, 14, and 19. In this case, we only need to remove one terminal, the negative one, of course. So there's a trick with this gray connector that holds the cables. You actually have to push forward, not outwards, until it pops out. And then you can undo it with a 10mm wrench. It's an ant. The next part is another plastic connector, but it has a little tab that you have to push. That should come off free. I took these two off too. Okay. For the sake of space, we're gonna take this part off. It also needs a 10 like the other thing. So I like using an extension. I just prefer it. Put it on. Make sure it's going the right way. Catch it. So you need a 19 for this step. You put it on a breaker bar, like an extension like this, and you have to snake your way through. The next step, the lever that we snaked through, you put the 19 socket on the belt tensioner. So you pull towards the front of the car so that it becomes loose. Now, the trick that my father taught me, you take something, I have a pipe cleaner. Once the belt is loose, the serpentine belt, you take the pipe cleaner and you wrap, like the belt sits here, whatever you choose to use, and you wrap that around. You tie it at the top so that you don't lose the belt all the way down at the bottom, and then you have to rewrap it all, and it's a whole thing. So that's what I'm going to show you now, okay? Pull. Take it off. You can put the lever back, but make sure you don't let go of the belt, the Arts pipe cleaner, or craft rather. Take it, wrap it around. So there's two alternator bolts because they are a little bit rusted by now. They're very tight since nobody's taken them off since they put it on in the factory. I'm gonna use a breaker bar, and the top bolt is 12, the bottom is 14. So I'm gonna start with the bottom, that is 14. You have to make sure it's sitting nicely, not crooked. Might be enough to use a wrench now. Now we're going to do the top. That is a 12. Almost dropped it. Okay, now with the wrench, I'll start with the 14. Longer than I expected. There we go. Now, when you're putting them away, make sure you remember where you put them. So I'll put the 14, which was on the bottom, put it here, and then the 12, which is going to be the next one, even further, so that in my head it's almost like, okay, this one and then that one. What? So, before you proceed, the final step in taking it off, you make sure all of the bolts are off, so the bottom and the top, the connectors here. Now it's going to be a little bit tricky. You have to wiggle it back and forth just to make sure that you can really yank it out. You have to be careful when you're doing this that you don't push too hard, because if you're now pushing on this side, the whole thing can go crooked and you can't pull it out. So you also don't want to like really hurt, I guess you could say, any wires here in the front, because it's a tight space. There's not a lot of wiggle room. So I can see I moved it off here. So this is the part. You don't want to push like this against some wires and just basically rip them out. I have to find a good spot, like I did. But you want to do it just enough so it wiggles out a little bit, because now I'm pushing into the cord. So I'm going to attempt to pull it out again. So I'm wiggling it out of the socket. This might take some time.
A few moments later.
Now with this loose, you see you have some wiggle room. You can pull him out, hopefully. Puzzle piece. You have to look at these sides. So, after you take any part off, before you put any part back, you have to look at both and compare them. So, I have my old alternator, and we're gonna do a little look at it. You see there is a difference. This one has the bracket to hold those connectors and those wires from earlier, but the new one doesn't. So we're gonna have to take this one off. I figured out that it was an 8mm. I'll do that later. And I don't know if you can hear this, but when you spin it, you can hear the noise. You hear that? Okay. So, the new one, I already inspected. No noise. And when I looked at it, like I said, the bracket was missing. So we're just gonna make sure that we do it on the same side. You can't see it, but I'm comparing both of them. Okay, I see where the bracket should go, and now I am gonna attempt to take it off. Just gonna, it doesn't fully sit. There we go. Perfect. Whoops. Okay. Take it off. Like I said, make sure you're putting it on the right spot. So I'm looking at the both of them. It was right here. So I totally forgot to click play when I was saying goodbye. But basically I just put it back. It is reverse engineering, I guess you could say. Same process, just backwards. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one.